Money is not the goal, rather to write my name in the annals of history. Yes, for 'tis I, gentle criminal at your service. And now, dear viewers, I must say cheerio. Until next time. Gentle Video. See you next time.
Hello everybody, Megazord X here. I'm back at it again to give you another very exciting episode review over My Hero Academia. This time I'm going to be reviewing episode 81 called School Festival. And if you haven't already watched my episode 80 review over My Hero Academia, you can go ahead and click that card in the corner, check that video out, and then come back and check this one though. But man, I gotta say with this episode, man, it was just downright funny at certain moments. There was a lot of different kind of like small little comedic effects going on here and there though. And yes, we do know and expect now, you know, we're out of that like little transitional area of where we had those like previous two episodes of sort of kind of transitioning us from the overhaul arc into what is going to be the school festival arc. And I'm sort of kind of, you know, glad that we're kind of in like a more peaceful, kind of more relaxful arc compared to the previous stuff that happened within the previous arc though. But overall, you know what, I'm sort of kind of looking forward to this second cour compared to what maybe, you know, most people might be looking towards it though. But there's quite a bit of stuff to go over and talk about what actually happened within this episode though. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight up into this episode review of My Hero Academia. Now, one of the cardinal laws of anime is that if it takes place in a high school, eventually your show is gonna include a school festival. It could be just for an episode or an entire arc, but it has to happen and there has to be a mention of maid cafes and haunted houses. If you don't include one of them, then goodness, the anime cops will come in and confiscate all your key frames. It's the law. Well, just kidding. But you think in My Hero Academia's case, they sidelight something so seemingly trivial with the rising rate of supervillain activity and the increasing pressures to find a replacement for All Might. But through Aizawa, the show points out that the exact anxieties are what make the few times people get to relax and enjoy themselves all the more precious. The students of UA are already undergoing a stressful year between the multiple villain attacks, and they deserve, even need, some way to let off steam and just act like the kids they are. The 1A students in particular take this idea to heart, and after the requisite montage of rejected ideas for their class activity, they settle on a live song and dance performance. Overall, it's a solid idea that makes use of several of their non-hero related skills, but more importantly, it means Jiro, who for me is probably right in the middle of the road in terms of, you know, good girls or whatever though, in terms of like all of our 1A students or whatever, she is finally able to take center stage. So sorry Deku, but it seems like this is going to be Earphone Jack's show for now though. Well, we all know that Deku will still be around, and especially since it seems like him and Mirio are going to be acting like big brothers to Eri, which I honestly find really sweet. The matter of fact that they're actually kind of taking that role with Eri, like, you know, Eri's being like the younger sister and you got these two older brothers though. I don't know, I just find something super precious about that though. And now Eri reached that state where she is finally able to receive visitors, since now that she's basically in a more stable state than what she was in the past. And their reunion is both sweet and sovereign, as the boys realize that while Eri's finally free of her abuser, the trauma hasn't magically gone away just because Overhaul got his face rearranged by Deku's fist. It's here that Deku hints upon Ioma's idea of surprising him last episode and arranges for Eri to visit the UA school festival with them. It won't fix everything, but giving the girl a taste of safety and fun could go a long way in helping her recover from all she's been through. It's a touching moment that also helps deliver some emotional stakes to the story. Now, if the 1A students can't pull off the show and rock the house, it won't just, be their fellow students that are letting down. It could also be Eri for the sake of her overall recovery, though. But it's not all fun and healing this episode, as there is still darkness looming over the story, creeping out from perhaps the darkest pit a human can, YouTube. Yes, YouTube, which actually kind of threw me for a loop when I actually saw this episode, though. And yes, this is the newest addition to My Hero Academia's Rogues Gallery in Gentle Criminal and his pint-sized assistant La Brava, a pair of villains who commit crimes not out of greed or anger at the current hero society, but for far more pernicious gains. Likes and subscribes. Yes, likes and subscribes. For as silly as the idea is, it makes sense to some degree. If YouTubers in real life can, build careers about public prank videos and vlogging themselves and being general nuisances, it stands to reason supernatural or superpower internet celebrities would turn to the attention of grabbing acts of villainy to get those sweet, sweet engagements. Now, honestly, when I saw this part in the episode, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, okay, so we had this villain, and I was looking at his design, I was like, okay, this dude, it doesn't seem like there's a lot to him, but let's see what this man can put out on the table, though. And, he was trying to, rob this store or whatever, though. And he's like, you know what? Hey, just toss the money in the bag and we'd be all good or whatever, though. And then a couple heroes show up, and he's like, oh, I could take these on. And then, like, for more money, he's like, oh, man, forget this mess. Keep the money. I don't even want this. I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, this is definitely going to be a different sort of kind of art in that regard, though, because, the villains for, there's not going to be super serious, which I'm kind of glad for that, because we don't have to always be in the super serious mode, especially since we had this lighthearted school festival art that's kind of going on, though. But at least it will sort of kind of keep the plot going in terms of, there's something, I guess, sort of kind of bigger picture kind of going along with the whole entire ride of this second arc, though. But overall, I think these characters are going to be kind of interesting, maybe sort of kind of get on that likable level, despite them basically acting like villains, though. But, they're not the purest of bad villains or whatever, though. So I'm really looking forward to what this arc basically has in store, though. And in terms of our heroes, I do like how this arc is basically going to be able to touch upon, the people that aren't, our main cast of characters, like Deku, for example, and be able to actually elaborate more on certain other characters. Like, for example, Jiro, it seems pretty obvious that she's going to be the one that kind of stands out within this arc, because, it's sort of kind of based around a musical performance, and we know that she has a knack for music and stuff, and you can see throughout the episode where she kind of, she's sort of kind of like shy, a little bit nervous, kind of let that side of her personality kind of show out, and her being able to express her hobby towards others, though. So I'm really curious to kind of see how that plays out, though. And it's always nice and cool to be able to see not just our 1A students, but we'll get to see, class 1B and all the upper class people, as well as, like, Nejire and all the other characters like that, though. But overall, I'm really looking forward to this arc, though. But let me know down in the comment section down below, what all do you think about this episode as a whole? Are you really looking forward to this new school festival art that's about to pan out, though? And then what do you think about our odd but yet weird and kind of twisted villains for this said arc? And, what kind of threat level do you think they're actually going to show? Or basically, instead of threat level, what all do you think comedic-wise they might be able to pull off within this episode, though? Since we know they're not like the darkest of all dark heroes compared to what we got in previous seasons, though. But let me know all your thoughts and concerns and questions down in the comment section down below. But that is all that I have for y'all for this week's episode review over My Hero Academia. So if you really like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and that bell to keep up to date on all things My Hero Academia. With the school festival slowly approaching, Class 1A is working on their live band performance. During the midst of all of this planning, General Criminal fixes his gaze upon the school. And will our heroes put up a rockin' show, or will this General Criminal disrupt this era of peace? We'll have to find out about this and more in next week's episode review, called Prepping for the School Festival is the Funnest Part. So remember, y'all, until whatever video I make next, go beyond. Plus Ultra!